Despite the fact that Michelle and Robbie's kid would never be able to walk, talk, or even think, they made the decision to give him a chance at life. They were rewarded with an amazing piece of information a few years later. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. A woman of 2 discovered she was expecting a second child in the middle of 2011. When she told her husband Robbie, he became rather thrilled about the prospect of being a parent once more. However, their delight changed to anxiety when they went for their first scan. According to the results of the first scan, the infant had spina bifida, a disorder brought on by improper spinal development. The parents were informed by the physicians that their child would be paralyzed from the chest down. That hurt Michelle's heart, but she hoped that things would get better eventually. Regretfully, things just grew worse. They were hoping for better news when they went for another scan, but instead they were told that the baby would probably also be missing a large portion of his brain. His brain was being destroyed by a bad encephalic cyst in his skull, which was the cause of the disease. The physicians were unable to remove the cyst since the baby was still in the womb. However, the worst was still to come. It happened when they learned that their kid also suffered from hydrocephalus, an uncommon ailment. This potentially fatal condition was brought on by fluid buildup in the brain's cavities, which caused brain damage. The physicians told the parents to end the pregnancy as soon as they realized this. They predicted that the infant will either pass away right away or live for only a year or less. However, Noah's parents firmly stated that they intended to keep their child. The difficulties that emerged during the course of the pregnancy led the physicians to assume that the baby would be born with Patau syndrome and Edwards syndrome. Instead of the normal 2 copies of chromosome 18, an infant with Edwards syndrome has 3 copies of the gene. This leads to low birth weight, a tiny head with an unusual form, and potentially fatal organ abnormalities. Out of 100 kids born alive with Edwards syndrome, only 13 survived for more than a year. Conversely, possessing an additional copy of chromosome 13 results in Patau's syndrome, a rare genetic condition. Just 1 in 10 children with this illness survive for more than a year, making it a very dangerous condition. The physicians reiterated that it would be a humane decision to end the pregnancy in light of all these diagnoses. They thought the infant would never be able to walk, communicate, or take care of himself. He was going to have no free will, according to them. When approached about having the baby removed, Michelle and her husband adamantly declined. They were even instructed by the physicians to choose a little coffin and burial garment for the infant. A do not revive order was also given to the infant, indicating that in the event of its delivery, the medical staff would not attempt to resuscitate it. It was a terrible time for the parents, severely taxing their marriage and faith. It's hard as a parent to accept what they're saying, but it's the truth. You must return home and inform your family that it may be necessary for us to bury him. Michelle explained the pregnancy and added, "Even though we were put in such a terrible circumstance, we always tried to remain optimistic. On the day of birth, everyone braced themselves for the worst. Nevertheless, on March 6, 2012, Noah was born, weighing around 9 pounds or 4 kilograms in defiance of the odds. The most amazing thing was that he was able to breathe on his own. When baby inhaled for the first time, Michelle started crying since it indicated his prospects of surviving. When Noah gave his first life-affirming cry at birth, tears just streamed down my face. It was moving and amazing," she remarked. The doctors requested several tests right away, but they soon discovered that little Noah was generally healthy and had not had either of the 2 abnormalities they had thought he might have. They weren't wholly incorrect in their projections either. He was brought in for an MRI as soon as he was born. They found that just 2% of his physical brain was there at birth. It implied that he remained in a crucial position. 7 weeks after his birth, a shunt was inserted into his skull to allow the fluid that had been found in the womb to flow down his neck and into his tummy. After starting medication, his condition gradually improved. It was very remarkable how his physique expanded at its regular rate. Despite his many hospital stays, his parents were thankful for his survival. His mother, Michelle, started taking care of him full-time. He was paralyzed from the waist down, just as the doctors had feared, Therefore, he needs a wheelchair since he was unable to walk when it came time for him to stand on his own 2 legs. Apart from that, he handles everything on his own. He acts and eats like a typical youngster his age. He also talks. His condition, according to the doctors, would be vegetative. He would be unable to speak to anyone. It was said to us that he might not be able to eat, hear, talk, or move. However, he loves science, reads, performs math, and can tell the time. Michelle described his improvement as follows. He can talk about the solar system. He has incredible dreams and even more incredible knowledge. Like any other young child, Noah has aspirations for the future. He disclosed that he would like to play football in the future despite using a wheelchair. I was in awe when I was on the grass at Newcastle Stadium. I'm going to run and score a goal one day. I can't wait to experience the happiness that follows a goal or when you score, Noah stated. I don't think there's a finer feeling than that. In his later years, he also hopes to marry and start a family of his own. Despite his physical restrictions, his parents never gave up on him. They knew nothing could truly stop him, as he had already accomplished a miracle by entering this world alive and well. Michelle expressed her pride at becoming his mom. She expressed her gratitude for not following the physician's advice when she was pregnant. Observing him mature and transform into the distinct young man he has become has been an immense delight. I can't believe how intelligent he is. He and I have spent a great deal of time together, and he continues to astonish me every day. He's my son, and I'm so very proud of him. Running is his life's purpose. It's his desire to accomplish it. I'll give it my best for him and be there for him no matter what. I'm glad we disregarded the doctor's advice, stayed true to our convictions, and gave Noah a chance, the woman remarked. I will always remember that event in my life. It's a miracle, that's exactly what it is, and it's the finest news I've received as a mother. Because how do you go from 2% to 80%? It's amazing, and I'm glad we persisted in our efforts to help him. Noah was ecstatic to learn about it. It implied that he could realize any desire he had ever had. It was a grander celebration of his 9th birthday than all of his previous birthdays put together. His family and friends were ecstatic to hear the news. Noah summed up his celebration by saying, I love having people around on my birthday, and this one was extra special. The things he has accomplished are astounding. If he does end up walking in the future, it won't be shocking. He has a lot of ambition for such a young age, and his ideas are unaffected by the circumstances surrounding him. Noah has undergone 11 operations so far, and he may yet need more, but you can't count on him to continue to defy the doctor's predictions given his tenacity and the support of his loved ones. How do you feel about Noah's motivational tale? And if you had been his parents, how would you have responded? Tell us in the space provided for comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you later. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.